In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto.
Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boy CryptoKeeper, and we are here with a beautiful TA Thursday around the charts. I'm excited. Frankie, Crypto Blood, and Magic Internet Money, all three people that have been close friends of the channel. Super excited to have you guys on. I'll start with you, Frankie. How was your day, brother? I hear you've been pretty busy.
Yes, super busy. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Always happy to hang out with you guys. One of my favorite things about this show is, like one of the big things I talk about on my channel is not getting stuck in an echo chamber, right? So I love when we get on this show and get, perspectives from other people, even if it disagrees with me, because I actually like to hunt out people who disagree with me because I think it's important, to take a look at the other side, even if you don't agree.
I love it, dude. I couldn't agree.
I like this guy. Let's take a gunshot for that one. I like it. I like them already. Let's go.
Don't kill the man. You said you liked him. Don't shoot him.
I'm shooting at him.
Oh, that's party. That's party time. Got it.
Got
Got it. That's New Year. That's New Year's Eve in the hood. Pow, pow, pow. Blood, how you doing, bro?
Good, man. Great to be here as always. Hey, man, let's get it cracking. Magic is here.
Frankie is here. Magic, you get into anything exciting today, brother? Anything that the team needs to know about here?
No, not really. I mean, it's business as usual. It's been slow up until about an hour ago.
Okay.
So, price finally decided to move, and we'll see what we get out of it.
I'm sure we're about to figure out what's going on with that here in just a minute. Let me kick it off at the markets, but before I do, guys, everyone in here, make sure you're following Frankie. Make sure you're following Blood. Make sure you're following Magic Internet Money with Leading Crypto. They come on here. They spend their time. They're not being paid to be here. I pay them to be my friend, but I don't pay them to be here on the channel. So make sure that you guys give them. I got to check yet. Make sure that you guys give them a follow. And also, don't forget, we've got our commodities drop that's coming out on Monday. So if you're not already involved in Danger Close Alpha and you want an opportunity to win 5 Ethereum, you need to get involved in that. Frankie's going to be somebody that we may or may not be spotlighting here soon. I can neither confirm nor deny that, but I have a little suspicion that he might be on the list. So Crypto fam, just make sure that you are joining in there, get in the Discord, get involved, and let's have some fun. All right, cool. Let's check out the markets. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to guess Magic knows more than I do, but I'm going to go ahead and peek at the numbers, and we'll start there, and then you guys can give me the real breakdown. The global crypto market cap is at 829.89 billion with the B dollars. That number keeps getting smaller. So we've got Bitcoin at 16,861. That is looks like up a little bit over 1%. So if you follow the channel, you already know what's about to happen here. The top 10 is pretty flat. XRP's down, up about 3%. That's the biggest mover in the top 10. And it looks like the biggest mover to the downside might be Polygon Matic, but that had been pumping so hard that doesn't really surprise me to see that it is moving the other direction. So let's start off with you, Magic. You said it had been boring today until just recently. Price started moving. Now, the untrained eye says, I don't know, it's maybe moved 1% or whatever, right? What happened? Did we get a big move here just a little bit ago, or what's going on?
Yeah, you're kind of just getting some people getting squeezed out of the market right now. So the move up that we just had, it was like kind of like a breakout trade. It did come on a declining open interest, so you could tell it was just people that were getting stopped out of shorts.
Okay.
So for anyone that follows me, I'm always a big proponent of, if you're going to take a short, you take it from the top of the range. You don't take it in the middle. You don't take it at the bottom of the range. That's really kind of an easy rule of thumb that you think most people could abide by. However, it's harder than it looks when people are staring at their phone or their screen all day or whatever they may be doing. They get that itchy trigger finger. So you are seeing people get stopped out of this move. Open interest is starting to tick up a little bit as we come into like a weekly value area high. I'll go ahead and turn on my screen. You can take a look at it, and I'll give you an idea of what I'm actually looking for, because I don't think this changes anything just yet. So I was actually looking for something along these lines, a move up above this region. And if you were to work it out as an overall range on the 40 tick, which is just your trading view settings, it kind of brings you back to that value area high. So getting back above right around 16.7 to 16.8 is going to be key. If you look at like your TPO and things like that, this is going to be where the most volume and time has been spent since you came down here. So holding on to 16.8 is going to be just absolutely crucial. You get up there, you can make a move up into this range here past the gold pocket, probably to like that 17.5, maybe as high as $18,000. And then you have a valid harmonic, which is really nice. These aren't meant to be traded off of alone.
What is a valid harmonic?
So it's just basically their Fibonacci ratios. And the reason they're so important is certain reactions and combinations get good reactions. Like, so in this case, you're looking for an 886 and a 1618 expansion. So you have 161.8% expansion with an 886 retrace. If you go through volume 3 of Scott Carney's harmonic book, this is actually a very specific combination that he's worked the statistics out on that does actually play very well. So this would be a move that, if given, would offer up a really nice trade, because then you have a stop loss, right? Your stop loss is the high. You have a nice invalidation. So if the reaction off this area is good, you have a nice trade. And what you're looking to do is target a back test of the lower range from there. And that's going to give you what you need. So what I mean by that is you can see that this is where the range starts to set up. And this is a really wide area here, but you can see that basically all the way down to the B leg, you're looking to back test this region. Not a huge trade there, but it does develop into larger trades over time if the move begins to play out. The only thing that would change my mind is your old TPO POC. So if we were to like pull this all the way back from prior, data, I'd have to pull it up. You have a time point of control at 19,150, and then 19,411 is just a monthly level that we'd have to be looking at, this blue box. If you get back above that, I wouldn't say all bets are off. I would just say, we have to look at things a little differently. But if you're looking for shorts, the idea is to remain patient. The MO of this entire move down has been, what do? We come up, we take the highs, we stop people out, then we dump. You come up, you take the highs, you've taken the highs, you took the highs. So if you're looking for a very similar, move in a, obvious trend, one would think that you'd want to wait to see if you get this move up into this region to see if you can actually,
to see if you can be patient and hit that area. And then statistically, what's been happening is we very, very likely will dump from there. Let me ask you this, Magic. You spit a lot of fire at once, right?
I was just about to say.
No. What I want to ask, what I do want to ask is, tell the people where I know you teach a lot of this as well. So where do you get a little bit deeper into teaching some of this? Is that in one of your groups, correct?
So in our Discord, we have a pretty extensive playlist. I go through everything. So the volume profile is a great tool, and it's something that we utilize to determine the range and give us an idea of where price is going. So you're going to see that. But harmonics is something that I incorporate because it really starts to give you confluence with targets or convergence with fibs. And convergence and fibs are really how you're supposed to use them. Now, in terms of volume, though, the real secret is going to usually end up being over here. And so what you'll notice actually is you will see absorption. So you knew this move was likely to take place coming into today. So if you go down to like the millions chart, so we're not looking at volume, we're not looking at the chart in terms of time anymore. We're only looking in terms of volume. And what you can see is this line right here, this yellow line. I'll get rid of the VWAP. It's just not necessary. So this is your delta. And what you're looking at is you're seeing negative delta enter the market, and it's being absorbed by price, meaning that someone with a limit order wants to squeeze, market maker, however you want to word it, wants to squeeze out some of these people that are shorting. And then you can see right here, as the move gets underway, what do we see? We see open interest coming off the move. And now we see a reset, and we see OI increasing, meaning that these guys are underwater. And if they really wanted to, they could push this even higher and either liquidate or squeeze them out of the market entirely. So that's what you're looking for, is you're looking to spot fuel in the market. And so that's really what we get into. We do a few live trading sessions a week for this type of stuff, but also countless hours inside the academy.
So we got one end of things, right, where Magic just took us to college. I failed the class.
I was just about to say, I'm back in college, differential equations class. I'm confused. I'm going to fail.
I love it. And I know that people are learning and doing really well trading with you. So I'm really excited. That's why we always have you on the channel. You are bringing things that other people don't bring to the table. And I really like it. On the other end of things, the really simple things that I love, one of them is going to be Bloodalytics. Bloodalytics gives me literally alerts that are, they're like keeper friendly alerts, right? So it's like, hey, keeper, you should be looking at this price. You should buy. Here is a sell. Here is a take profit. And the Bloodalytics has been doing well recently. Blood, what are you seeing in these markets, my brother?
Well, let me see if I can pull up something for you really quick. I should have had it queued up already. Let's do it right now. Is this it? Yep. All right. So what I have right now, I think even Magic alluded to it. We had a move up in the markets. We went long on Bitcoin maybe about 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. Yeah. So we're long now. It's kind of been in the sideways market here the last day or two. But this week is looking kind of back and forth, man. But overall, I'm gonna be honest with you. I spent 120, 150 man hours, programming hours, developing the system, right? So I just follow it. But I will say that if you're doing TA, in my opinion, in this point, I've been trading for 16 years, Keeper. If you're doing TA right now, I would be more looking at the fundamentals, because that is going to be your catalyst in this environment where we're at FTX. We don't know what the hell is going to come out next, right? So you got to put that at least into your trading arsenal in addition to the TA, because I made this analogy. TA is like the gas pedal, but the fundamentals is the steering wheel. Okay. That's going to actually give you the direction. The TA is going to give you the catalyst for that direction either way. So just keep that in mind. Don't be all TA. You got to know what's going on in the streets. You got to know what's going on with FTX. You got to know what's going on with Genesis. You got to be aware and be, situationally aware of what's going on when you start trading. Now, again, just to go back to the chart here, long Bitcoin, went long earlier, been short on Ethereum though since yesterday. So we're still in a nice short here. We took half our profits, as we do. We take some of that chicken off the table as soon as we can and lock in those gains. And with Binance still short, but it looks like we might be heading long here very shortly. So 2 short, 1 long, with Bitcoin going long here. That's the odd one out the pair.
I like it. And I like that you pay attention to the fundamentals as well. For me, I have always not argued, but talked to people that are heavily into TA. I've talked to CVO actually a lot about this. I always ask CVO, like, well, hey bro, what's in the news? And he doesn't know, right? And he legitimately,
that's fine.
doesn't.
It works though. Yeah, that can work.
So that's what I'm getting at. So like, he doesn't want to pay attention to the news because he feels like sometimes that can be a distraction for his TA. And I love that method as well.
The way I incorporate fundamentals in my algorithm,
in your algorithm,
right? In my quant is trade sizes. So if I'm thinking that we're going to be biased towards the downside, I may my trades to the short side may be a little heavier than my long trades. That's kind of where I play it into there.
No, I think it needs to be on both ends. I really like that. And speaking of trades going really well, if those of you that didn't know, your boy Frankie Candles up here just won the FEMEX trading competition. Now, he had a team of people trading with him, but my understanding, and Frankie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding was that they were basically following your lead on this, and you guys won the competition, and there was a lot of people trading in there. Talk to me about what happened there, and then we can get into kind of what you see happening in the market right now.
Yeah, for sure. Super excited to win that FEMEX trading competition. It was our first trading competition as the Candle Mafia too, so it was really nice to take home a dub for that first time. But yeah, we were basically in the Discord. I had a channel in our Discord. I would go in there, put the setups. But I will say, I super happy with the actual community, because they were in there just, I would kind of lurk in that channel just to kind of see what their game plan was when I wasn't there. And they were going back and forth, sharing trade ideas, just brainstorming together, making plans. And they were absolutely crushing it. And what was funny was I think FEMEX actually, our P&L was so much higher than the second place team that I think FEMEX thought something funny was going on. So they actually took part of our P&L away because they thought we cheated, but we didn't.
How do you cheat?
I don't know if they, I don't know if they thought we cheated, but I think they thought there might've been like suspicious activity. So they took some of our P&L disappeared without anyone losing trades. And we were just like,
you still ultimately won. The percentage difference just wasn't nearly what it should. Weren't you like 1,700% or something wild like that?
Yeah, we had 1,700%, and then they took away I think 400 or 500% of that, but we were still double the second place team. Actually had one of the Candle Mafia members turn $300 into 14 grand. So the top traders were really like cashing in a bag. So it was super cool. I was super happy for the community. They made a bunch of money. They got the bonuses. Yeah, so super cool. But as of right now, as far as the there we go. My mouse just died for a second. That would have been horrible timing. But yeah, as of right now on the charts, let me just go ahead and share my screen real quick.
As he pulls that up, Crypto Fam, smash the likes. We got almost 150 people in here. It's Thursday night. You could be anywhere, but you're here with Debate Crypto. Make sure you show some love to Magic, Frankie, and Crypto Blood as well. They are working hard for you this evening to give you the best in the TA space.
Absolutely. Smash that like button. But on the charts for me, there we go. So basically what I'm looking at, kind of similar to what Magic Internet Money was talking about, I'm basically watching this POC was kind of the level that I was looking at to potentially flip bullish, because I do lean a little bit bearish right now. Obviously, we are in a bear market, so more in the macro. I am kind of leaning bearish. However, we were just on my stream looking at. I was kind of telling them like, listen, there are some mixed signals here. And there is a case for the bulls, so be very careful. But that main level that I was watching was this point of control, which is coming in at about $16,780. So I am looking to potentially flip this into support. If I can get this, if we can get these candles to come flip this to support, I will be looking for long opportunities. But some higher, if we do see the bull case play out, some higher targets I'm looking at here, other than this local golden pocket, if we can get past all of these, let me actually pull up the VPVR so we can see where the volume is at.
In this situation, Frankie, just curious, would you wait for a double tap for the confirmation on that POC, or just a single tap and back up at that point, a single return to it, and you're saying, hey, let's get it?
So typically for me, what I like to see is I like to see price come back down to the point of control. And then I like to find bullish confirmations, whether it be on Market Cypher B or what have you. I just wait for that. It's not really an amount of taps, but more just if we come down there as we touch, if I get those bullish confirmations, that's kind of where I would look to enter.
Got it.
But let me just, I don't know. But yeah, okay. So nice little local golden pocket here too. So if we came down here and held this, I would be looking for some potential long opportunities. I was looking at some longs earlier today, but I did have a crazy day and I just missed my entry. But you win some, you lose some, and you miss some. But just to zoom out and kind of just take a look at where the volume's at and kind of what I would expect if we do get a sustained move to the upside. So basically what I'm looking at is if we break basically where we are at, pretty close to about 17,080, I would look for a potential move above this local golden pocket. And essentially, once we flip that POC, I'm already expecting to revisit the range highs at our value area high right here, creeping up at about $18,000. And then once we get up to this level, if I am not getting, bearish confirmations, or if it's not screaming that it wants to come down at this level, I would hope to pop up above this and potentially come up and test this macro POC up here, which is also a local golden pocket. Now, if we come up to this level, this is where I will be looking for some short opportunities. However, if we can get back above this macro point of control and get back into this previous trading range that we were in for so long, right? If we could crack that macro POC, it would bring us back into this trading range, which would be nice, because if we could start trading back in this value area, we could potentially work our way up to some decently higher prices, at least from where we're at right now. Now, another thing I am looking at that is making me a little bit concerned is this is somewhat of a bear pennant here. So these do break down more often than they break up. So this is another thing that is making me be very careful with these longs, because, if this is just a stop hunt to stop out some of the shorts, we could see this bear pennant play out. But definitely a case to be made here for the bulls for sure.
Yeah, and I think so many times when the TA gets pulled out, a lot of times people don't know the correct application for the situation. At least that's what I've seen, and I've heard people throw some really good ideas out, but maybe in the wrong the wrong market or the wrong structure. So what I wanted to do is something a little different. I'm putting you guys on the spot here, but I already know you guys are going to have just an easy time with what I'm about to ask. I want to teach some of the people in the channel just something simple, right? So I want to go around to each of you. I'll start with you, Magic. I want to go around to each of you and teach the panel a simple, right? A simple, just something simple in the TA space.
Sure.
That looking at the charts right now that you would look for to kind of just give a little bit of education, a little simple piece of something.
Yeah. We'll keep it really high time frame. Market structure is the basis of all price action trading. So that's what we're going to take a look at. And I'll take all the indicators off the chart for this. So we don't need to look at any of this fun stuff. It's completely irrelevant at this point. We just don't need it. So we'll get rid of the ATS stuff. We'll get rid of all the monthly. And all we have is a blank chart and a few levels. And so straight away, we're going to go ahead and get out of a lot of this stuff and go to like the 3-month chart. So the quarterly chart, very relevant considering we're coming into the end of the year. And you'll notice that the 2 lines above me are marked off as the quarter lows, meaning if we start closing at the end of the year above these levels, we have effectively swung failed them, meaning that price did not have the momentum to push lower, and that we should look at these to act as support potentially in the future. So that would be your first indication that the tide is turning in terms of like a really, really high time frame. I consider the monthly high time frame, but it starts to bleed into the idea of medium almost at this point, because Bitcoin does have 10 years of history. So now we can start moving that bar down from quarter 2 to quarter 3 and saying 17.5. Got to close above 17.5. If we close above 17.5, we may be able to look all the way
Where's
back.
the 17.5 number coming from, Magic?
So that is your
Young
quarter,
Jeezy.
Yeah, it's your quarter.
Those are birds flying all day.
Yeah,
That's he's on my chart, baby.
Until inflation, bro. Until inflation hit.
You're right. You're right.
Your quarter 2 low, basically, and also it is the low of the prior range. So it does have a kind of a stack there. Now, if you wanted to get it a little more short term, and this is where the decision making starts to come in, right? So we're still kind of on a medium to high time frame at the weekly.
So let me stop you real quick, Magic. So you're saying you started at a higher time frame. You started at quarterly. Then you said, okay, let me look a little bit more tight, and you went to monthly. Now you're going even a little bit more tighter, and you're going weekly, and you're still looking at that same mark, that's 17.5, to help you make the decision on what you want to do moving forward.
Bingo. And I'm looking for the high time frames to close above this region. And if that happens, then I can start to postulate, okay, we might have a bit of a fake out here. And it actually almost starts to look like something like this, where you got lower closures, but you failed to move, right? So that's when that starts to play out. However, if you were looking at this on the weekly time frame, which I consider a medium time frame, it's fairly high time frame if you're just a day trader. But if you're not, you would have to pretty much effectively wait for $21,000, $20,000 to get reclaimed, to really on a weekly time frame, to be like short term, like, okay, this is more than just an impulse up and that we're going to get a rejection off of. And I'll show you one chart that I brought up on June 14th when you guys had me on for the very first time. This is a weekly chart I put out in 2021 on the first peak. I said we should be looking for this. And then it looks complicated, but just focus on the boxes because those are showing you the pivot points in the market. You can see this is your prior all-time high. This is your B leg or your shelf. And you can see we're coming back to it and we just haven't quite touched it. But where did we end up getting rejected from was right here. So when we said 21K on a weekly time frame needs to be reclaimed, you can now see why I think that. It's really resistance until it's not. It's based on fibs, it's based on pivots, it's based on a little bit of everything, and market structure as well. So when in doubt, zoom it out, guys. And if you put this on the monthly, you'll start getting the same thing where you're saying, man, if we close back above this 17.5, I've got a chance at running this all the way back up here to like 20,688, potentially, maybe even as high as 23K. And the range continues right here. And maybe we never see these targets. However, that is days, weeks, and potentially months away. So that would be the simple thing I'd say is, zoom out, understand that this is the trend. So when people say, that trade you have is, because I have a trade open that's about 1,800% up right now. And everyone's, how do you know to hold it? This is my blueprint. I marked off my zones. We never did anything bullish. Even this right here, while it was exciting, we never did anything convincingly. And the trend is your friend until it's not. And so until the trend forces me to close that trade above 40K, I'm not going to. It's a complete hedge at this point. So that's why I've left it running, is because I'm just taking the simple things and I'm using them, and I've outlined my targets. I've outlined the structure of our prior accumulation, and I know where the most likely area is that we're going to end up. However, if it doesn't end up there, I have to be able to determine in my own mind when I am wrong. And so on a weekly time frame, it's 21K. On like a quarterly time frame, really want to see 17.5 reclaimed. Monthly the same, and then move on from there. So hopefully that was somewhat useful.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that I've seen people, you know, everybody trades differently. And one of the things, like when you watch CryptoFace, he actually told me earlier today, he's like, no, I can't jump on tonight. But I was talking to CryptoFace a little bit. And one of the things that you'll see him do when he does live, he's like looking at like the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute chart. And I'm like, what in the heck is he doing? You know what I mean? Because for me, I just can't even comprehend like zooming in that tight. However, I know that that's how he's actively getting in and out of, you know, positions, right? But I think that's more of an advanced idea. So I like the fact that you're saying, hey, listen, look at an overall structure of the market, find those points, and then decide how patient are you wanting to be, how in and out are you trying to you know, get into these trades.
You just said it right there, though. You have to determine what the purpose of your trade is. If it's just a day trade, then it's a day trade. You don't really look at the macro too much. However, if you're looking for like a swing trade and you're not doing these things like zooming out, looking at the overall trend and determining where your invalidations are on like a macro idea, you're going to get stopped out more than you probably want to. So it just comes down to, I always tell people, it comes down to not being lazy. And then sometimes people just aren't told these things. You know, they're not taught the basics up front. So that is the thing. You start at the basics and you work your way up.
That's why I wanted to bring it up. I feel like sometimes on Around the Charts, we dive in, right? Because we've been doing this for a long time. So I just kind of wanted to take a step back this evening and just say, hey, listen, we all know the market's boring right now. So we've checked out kind of where we think we're at with the market. I just wanted to kind of take a couple minutes to teach a little something. Blood, what's something that you like now? Your answer cannot be, I just look at the Bloodalytics trade log. You got to give me got to give the people a little piece.
I do. That's what I do. I'm a quant trader.
I know
so
you,
I don't do,
know you do.
But I used to do a lot of manual TA, and I do have very good pointers for people out there, so I can show them for sure. And it's literally just naked trade. Now this is Bloodalytics, right? The reason I do, the caveat, the reason I do quant trading is because I can like 0 and 1s. It's very binary. My system either works or it doesn't. I can back test it, run my algo backwards however long I need. I mean, I can go back on TradingView. We can go back years. We can go back to last year or whatever. I can run a report and see how it pans out, right? We'll let that run out. But what I say is you keep it simple, stupid. Literally naked trading, no indicators. If I take this off, I'm going to give you an example of
naked trading.
Naked trading.
So sit in your chair, no clothes on, just get after.
Just the drawers on, Andrew Tate it, and just trade. No, but what I mean by that is literally support and resistance and trend lines. But you got to know how to draw your trend lines correctly. Many newbies don't draw their trend lines correctly. But just to give an example, so you know how we had the major drop off FT situation, right? And we had the low, the local low, which was right here. Now this yellow line, this was here before that bounce. Okay. You may say, where the hell did that come from? Literally, it came from a trend line that I drew way back here on October 18th. And that's it, man. You just draw your trend lines properly.
How do you come up with that? How do you come up with that angle on the line, right? I think that's what people would ask to say, wait a minute, how do we come up with that slope on a line and then it ends up hitting there?
Well, it's called magic. Not magic internet money, but it's just, no, I'm just playing. You literally just need to draw your trend lines correctly. And what I mean by that is when you're drawing your trend lines, it's almost like putting a puzzle together and making sure the pieces lock in there. So what I mean by that is when you're drawing a trend line, and I can draw, this is on the 13 because that's where we trade the Bloodalytics. So let me just reset this really quickly and do a rescale. All you need to do is when you're drawing your trend line, it needs to touch more than 1 point in the future. I really like more than one. So it touches 3 or 4 or 5 areas on that line as you're drawing it. You're trying to fit it to that, right? So for example, up here, you draw it down here. You see it touched right there. We're going to keep it going, and it broke. keep it going. And you can see here where, and now this is a steep line. I wouldn't trust this. The broader or less angle it is, the better it is long term. But you just look for areas where you can draw lines and it touches that line 3, 4, or 5 times. That gives you a very solid area for either resistance or support.
Are you going from a high to a low, or a low to a high? Like when you start it versus where you end it? Like if you're drawing a trend line, are you trying specifically to start on a high, working, you know, in one direction, or on a low if it's up and to the right? If you're, I guess what I'm saying is, if the chart's moving bullish, you know what I mean? Are you starting at a bottom, or is there no?
I guess that's going to be something that you're going to need to learn over time by continually looking at charts and get your spatial intelligence together to know kind of what direction to go. But I mean, you just look at the two to the right is what we used to call it, the like peaks and valleys, right?
Okay.
Your local tops and local bottoms, and just start drawing them out and figuring out where those lines, those trend lines touch multiple times, right?
Okay.
And that's literally, and then of course your support and resistance lines. Those are your horizontal lines. Again, future, or I should say previous resistance becomes future support. Okay. So you find in the past where you saw resistance, draw that horizontal line, that now becomes future support. And if it breaches it, then maybe, you know, you should start going for a short, you know, reverse course. Yeah. But it's all about patience when you're doing this naked trading. You let the market come to you. You don't try to chase the market. So you got to let the market come down to those levels. And many times newbies, they're anxious. They just want to be in a trade. So they don't wait. They don't wait till it gets there. They get in early and end up, you know, stopping out from a liquidation level, or they're losing too much. So you got to wait for the market to come to you. Then you get into your trades. Don't chase the market.
Yeah. And I want to throw mine in real quick. My trading tip of the evening, it's the one thing that I've always struggled with, is emotions. I trade, or used to trade, with emotions. And I really do everything I can to not do that anymore. That is one of the reasons why I do like Bloodalytics too, is because it ultimately, if I know that the quant algo is making decisions for me, and I trusted it, I made money with it before, then then I don't have to make this emotional. And that's one of the things
I have people that have signed up with Bloodalytics and still have issues.
Yeah, for sure. No, I get it, because I've done it.
The emotions it tells you to buy, and you buy, and then you lose. It
tells me to take half profit, and I say,
and then hindsight, you say, damn, it worked, right? I was supposed to get out what it was. Or you have a sequence of losing trades. This happens. No one has 100% win rate. So you're going to have sequences of lost trades.
And say, oh, this isn't working. I'm not doing this.
No, it's not working. They try it for a month. Oh, I'm down 10% or whatever. No, well, that's why you can only sign up for 3 months. I only do 3 months or longer, because you need more time. But it's the emotions. I think I saw someone in the chat room say that you got to control your emotions.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
That's the number one thing.
Speaking of emotions, Crypto fam, get emotional, smash the like, follow everybody on the panel. Let's go. And if you're looking for an real emotional high, get into Danger Close Alpha, get yourself prepared, and get yourself the opportunity to win 5 Ethereum. So jump into our Discord and you can figure that out. It is dangerclosealpha.com if you want to look at the roadmap and whatnot. And we do have our commodities drop coming out on this coming Monday. So get involved if you want to win that 5 ETH. Frankie, I know you have a lot of people on your channel, Frankie, that a lot of new people to trading, and a lot of people that are very, you know, old school and been around for years. Let's talk on the newer side of things. What would be something, if you sat down with somebody that was on the front end, maybe understood crypto, understood the idea of trading, but just had like some general questions? What would be something that you might point them towards?
Yeah. So real quick, I just want to touch on the emotion thing. I could not agree more. You know, it's like if people were in my Discord and I had a 100% hit rate and it was guaranteed, and you know, this goes for anybody, 99% of people would still lose trades if they didn't go up straight to your profit target. So emotions is 100% the hardest thing to do. You could be the best at TA, you could be the best at finding good entries or key levels, but if you get emotional even a little bit, you know, you're gonna get wrecked. But Also want to say one of the most important things about trading is trading naked. I think it's one of the biggest things that can drive your success. And I am not wearing pants right now. So just for anybody wondering.
Fantastic. This is getting better. Stream's getting better as we go.
Proof of pants, man. Proof of pants. What's going on?
I'd say Pixar didn't happen, dude.
But yeah, I basically, for me, like you said, I do have a lot of new people, and it's interesting. I like seeing what the experienced people in my community tell the new people in my community, because I just like seeing how people try to direct newcomers. But let me go ahead and share my chart here real quick. Basically, what I would do, the number one thing that I wish I learned sooner than I actually did is divergences and volume profile. This is basically, this could have saved, if I knew this, it could have saved me so much money and made me so much more money if I knew this from the beginning. But this is Dogecoin, right? And basically what I tell people is, a really easy thing is you don't want to get into a position until you get to until you see the setup you're looking for, right? So basically the way I attack things is I look for key levels. I try to find key levels, levels with a lot of confluence that I know if price gets there, it's going to at least have some form of reaction, right? So for example, basically how I explain it to people is you want to set your net and let price come into your trap, right? So you want to set the trap, and then that's your key level, and then as price approaches that level, you have a list of things that you're looking for to potentially enter into a trade. You have your confirmations, and then once the confirmations are met, you can enter your trade, and then if you have good levels, you're going to get some form of reaction. You could get into your trade, get decently into profit, and then move your stop loss to your entry, and eventually into profit, and then maybe a scalp trade can turn into a swing trade over time. But here's Dogecoin, right? This is an example. I just kind of drew this up quickly because there is a decent bit of resistance here, but one of those reasons I knew this was a key level was because it was a local golden pocket, amongst other things. And this was a trade that I put in one of my live streams. And basically, I set my key levels. I wait for price to approach my key level, which is this golden pocket. And then basically what I look for is bearish confirmations, and actually come up to a higher time frame here. So basically what you can look for is, so we have our golden pocket waiting for price to come up. We came very close to it here, but we did not touch it. And then we came down, right? And a lot of people would FOMO into this short. If you were waiting for a rejection off of this level, a lot of people would FOMO into this short, and they would have gotten wrecked, right? But because it did not touch the key level, I would not have entered this trade. So it comes back down, and then you come back in, and we finally tap this level. And you could see that we did put in a higher high. So you came in and made this high. You came up and made this higher high into your resistance. And I believe, what was this on the daily time frame? Potentially, I don't remember exactly the time frame. I don't want to spend too much time trying to find it exactly, but basically what I look for is bearish divergences. So it is popping up on this time frame. So you put a high and a higher high, making this upward slanting diagonal line, and then if you come down to your oscillator, in this case I use Market Cipher B, but you can use the RSI, which is free on TradingView, in the same exact way, and you have a high on your momentum wave, with a lower high on your next momentum wave. So you have a high, higher high, high, lower high. But the key here is that you're pushing into key resistance. So it's likely to get a rejection off of this, a reaction in general off of this key level. But because you have the bearish divergence, you're expecting a move to the downside. You could also use other confirmations. For Market Cipher B's case, you see the money flow is starting to come out. Those are my confirmations. I entered this trade, and you can see, it absolutely dumps down. And by looking at the volume profile, you could see that there's, obviously you have a high volume node here and a big fall off in volume in this area, resulting in this massive dump down like this. So this is what I wish. Key levels, divergences, and if you want to throw volume in there to try to find out where the gaps are, it's just an added bonus. So set your trap, let price approach, and then find your confirmations and get into the trade.
That's fantastic. I think so thank you for sharing that, Frankie. I think that a lot of times when the charts come up, I think people hear a lot of convergences, divergences, and I think sometimes people almost don't want to ask the question sometimes. I know that was me when I first started in crypto. I would watch some people do TA and I would hear it and I was almost like, man, I don't really want to, I feel stupid for asking, you know what I mean? Maybe I should. And what I realized really quickly was that like I was being stupid for not asking. Right. And so I like that we can, jump on here and do a little bit of teaching. Let me go around the panel real quick to kind of finish out the evening. I want to know bullish or bearish short term, and then I want to hear bullish or bearish. Let's go. So when I say short term, I'm talking about let's go Christmas. So that's well, hold on a second. No, that's a month from now. Let's go. No. Let's go start of December. That's a couple weeks. So let's go short term, start of December. So the next couple weeks, and then let's go medium term. Let's go March. Let's go Q1 of towards the end of Q1 on 2023. Magic, what you got?
Medium term, I mean, if we're talking like the next couple weeks, I think a move up to the range high here is likely. So I guess we'll say bullish, but I'm going to be looking to short that.
But what is that range? What is that range high again?
So if we'll pull that up, it's anywhere from 18 to as high as 19.1, believe it or not. It's actually fairly high. Main reason being is, little rule of thumb is anytime you back test a range, a lot of people are looking for like the levels, but you'll actually go back test the point of control, the highest volume. Ironically, depending on how you pull volume, the volume profile actually shows on TradingView, because it's a 40 tick, will show you 19,150 as the highest volume. But in reality, if you were to move over to like ATAS or XO and merge the range using that tool with one tick, it's actually $20,000. So you do have some room to play around with. That's why I say you have to pay attention to the high time frames. However, if we're going in medium term, I'm still looking for lower prices. I see no reason why this would be the bottom. It wouldn't make any sense. That doesn't mean it can't be. But to me, until price does something to convince me otherwise, I stick to what I've been saying. It's likely we head down further from here. Unless, that's really it. That's all I have to say about it. One thing I did want to point out is it's on my YouTube channel. It's public. I made this video a while back. I'll share my screen. It doesn't have a ton of views. It's only about 500. But it's actually a free tutorial on how to draw support and resistance if you want it. So I'll show you that video is right here. So anyone that wants to go watch it, you can. This is how to trade horizontal levels using Ampleforth. And you can apply this to any asset, whether it's crypto or, traditional market, whatever it may be. So if you guys want to check that video out and start trading, or not trading, but charting, that would be the first step. And it goes through the high time frames. And I do incorporate some pivot analysis so you guys can figure out what those are and why they're important, and then go from there. So
appreciate you, bro. Blood, short term, medium term, what you got?
Short term, I don't know. I'm following Bloodalytics, so I don't really have an opinion on that. I would say I think fundamentally we are to the down. We got a lot more headwinds ahead of us. So with the whole FTX fallout, what shoe is to drop next? Who knows? Is it Grayscale? Is it, so I don't know. We are building a base at this moment at 16,600. So I'm thinking, we've been getting bad news every day, pretty much something new, right? But no, it's not moving the market. So my assumption is that when we had that initial drop, the market was pricing in a lot of the stuff that we're now hearing about, right? The market is a forward pricing mechanism. It tries to price forward future present value. So maybe we're out of sellers at this point, but I think there may be some more news that's shocking all for us that will take us one more leg down to 12,600, and that's my target for if to the downside. Medium term going into Q1 next year. Who knows, man? That's too far for me, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not. I know it would sound good to be like, oh yeah, I think it's going here, and I have no clue, bro. I have no clue. I
like it. I respect
week
it.
to week. Yeah, it just is what it is, brother.
Frankie, what you got?
So I think probably 100K right before Christmas.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Guys,
no,
mark it down. Frankie
Okay,
Candles,
Tim
clip
Draper.
that. Somebody
All right,
clip
Tim
that.
Draper.
Somebody clip that.
Yeah, no, don't worry. It'll it's funny, man. It's too funny. Like you read the comments and it's like someone hears something like that where you're like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like
They
2
put it
seconds
into
of
a
clip and
TikTok
it's like,
and then they're like, look at this idiot. This guy thinks 100K before Christmas. Yeah.
Too funny. But yeah, no, I would say probably, I was talking about this on my live stream today. Bullish, probably, more bullish short term, but again, longer term, I like to remember we're in a bear market, and if the 4-year cycle is going to stay anything, intact in any way, it would say, maybe we are close to the bottom, but we've been looking at the range between 14 and 12K. I would feel a little bit more comfortable getting at least a little closer to that, because right now, obviously, you want to keep in mind that you're going to deal with logarithmic regression. The fall down from the general pullback in a bear market for Bitcoin's between 87 to 85%. We just got another leg down and we're still not even really in the 80s yet. So if we can get closer to like 81, 82% down, now that I would feel a little more comfortable calling that the bottom. However, you do also want to realize that it's likely not going to be that easy. We obviously have a lot of different things going on in the macro that could affect price. So Bitcoin we've never seen a Bitcoin bear market during a recession or during a depression, or every Bitcoin bull market and bear market has happened in a macroeconomic bull run. So if we do go into a serious recession or even worse, we could see this one play out a little differently. But to me, I'm not really feeling like super confident calling the bottom until we at least get into the 80s, as far as percentage down from the top. So I'd say bullish in the short term, but I wouldn't be surprised if we come down and make lower lows for sure.
I just want to make one point, an observation for people to understand. Be careful in bear markets, because your strongest rallies actually to the upside happen in bear markets. So you get your rips.
People get tricked.
Yeah, you get your rips because you got to think from a market structure standpoint. You have people that are short that have to cover, and you have people FOMOing that are buying too. So you have two people buying, essentially, because if you're covering your short, you're buying. So market rips, the biggest moves in the shortest period of time always happen in bear markets. So just be careful out there, people.
No, I love that.
10 blood.
Yeah,
thank you.
Definitely lots of extra points for blood. And crypto fam, listen, you've learned a lot hopefully on the stream tonight. Continue. Remember, every Thursday we're doing TA Thursday around the charts. Make sure to check us out on Thursdays. And as a reminder, Monday nights in December officially, but we've started doing it a little bit recently. We're going to be focusing. We're going to be doing a bunch of TA stuff, but we're going to be focusing more on altcoins. So Monday is going to be kind of more an altcoin day, and then TA Thursday around the charts is going to be more market structure, what's actually happening overall with the markets. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to get a little bit of one of each flavor. So make sure to check that out. Follow Frankie, follow Magic, follow Blood. Guys, jump into the Discord, win yourself 5 ETH, get into that competition. Crypto fam, we love you. You could be anywhere tonight, but you are here with Debate Crypto. Just remember, question everything, trust nothing. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. We will see you soon. Thanks, gents.